Hi everybody, welcome to another update on Stock Screener. Today I'm going to show you my calculation on Pieridae Energy because there are some people who don't believe this story. I know it's a bit unbelievable to have triple, quadruple, 10x, 15x, but I'm going to show you the calculation and you tell me what I calculated wrong. So as you can see, the stock price is rising. It will probably break out at some point. And that's because it's undervalued. So here's my calculation. I'm going to show you in detail how I did it. And you can give me your comments on why this is not correct. So what's my valuation? Very easy. It's production times revenue minus costs. That will give me a sense of EBITDA, right? Then I subtract capex and SG&A, probably some other costs as well, but let's focus on capex and SG&A. And then I just do a 5 times multiple. So shares outstanding 158 million, which gives market cap of about 250 million CAD. Production, latest production was 35959 BOE per day. I'll just do times 365 for a year. Some upside in production growth added, but about 10% per year. Capex was 50 million. Okay, SG&A per year 25, and revenue per BOE is coming from this number here, 35.54 before physical commodity contracts, subtract 3.64 plus the third party gives me 34.24. Okay, that's per BOE. Then the net back that we get is 9 from here. Then the AISC can be found by subtracting this with this. So that's the cost. Okay, all clear? That's the costs. Here we have a conversion factor because these numbers here are in MCF and ICO prices are in gigajoules. Okay, and we use ICO prices in gigajoules, while here we have MCF. So 1 gigajoule equals 0.947 MCF. So an MCF is bigger than a gigajoule. Okay. Then we do the calculation. So B7, that's our annual production, right? That's production times revenue. And this is the revenue, J4. So the current price of ICO in gigajoules times 34.24. That's the revenue right now in Q3. So that's this number here. But I divided it by 3.62, the realized gas price, right? Divided by the realized gas price, 3.62. with a conversion factor B17, because this needs to be converted to gigajoules. And then so times J4 times the current ICO price. So this is actually the price per BOE currently. Okay, this is the current price per BOE in gigajoules. Then here I just subtract the royalties difference, the difference in royalty, because if the price of gas goes up, then the royalties will go up by that amount. So here you do the current ICO price times the Q3 dollar per barrel, divided by the realized price. So that gives us the current price per barrel minus the price per barrel in Q3. So if this goes up, then you will see the same amount of royalty deducted, because a higher revenue will subtract more in royalty, right? And lower revenue will subtract less in royalty. And this 34.24 is just to look at the difference between the new price and the old price. Okay, so this is another part of that revenue, and this total here is actually the revenue. Okay, now revenue minus AISC, this is the minus AISC part, which is 25.17. So we have revenue minus AISC, right? That's this here, times production, that's this here. Okay, and you can see that this parenthesis is coming from here. So now we have production times revenue minus AIC. And now we subtract capex. So this is the capex, B13 capex in million CID, so times 1 million. And we subtract SG&A, 25 million per year. And this is the cash flow, the free cash flow, okay? And then we do times 5 multiple divided back by 1 million, so that we have an easy number to put here. And that gives us this number, minus 16. Here we do the same, but you can see it's using the production number next year. And here we use the production number in 2024. So, yeah. Then we do the same here for all these numbers here with just other prices. So the ICO price goes up, and you can see this curve. Now, where are we now in the ICO price? Currently, we are at 6.5 ICO here. So if gas stays at 6.5, which it will probably not do because it's winter now, it's 6.5 in the winter, then Pieridae Energy should be almost a 10x if we have a 5 times multiple to free cash flow. But of course, the gas price will go back down. And the forward curve tells us it will stay at around here, 4.5 to 5, which gives me an upside of 250 to 1 billion. So that's a 4x, right? At 4.5 ICO price. At 5, and it's possible that next year we will stay at 5 on average. We will have a 5x from here. If we drop to 3.5, then even at 3.5, we are fair value. But probably ICO won't stay at 3.5. It will stay above 4. So we are now in this interval, and there's only upside. Okay. If we go below 3.5, then there is downside. So what we are speculating on is that the ICO price will never ever go back below 3.5. That's the premise. And will only go up to maybe even 10 ICO as the arbitrage between US gas and EU gas closes. Then you can see that there is 10x, 15x upside from 2.5 to, let's calculate it. It's like this divided by this. So that's 16x upside for 5 times free cash flow. It could be 8 times free cash flow, and then it will be even more than 16x. So this is the calculation. Now, I know people are thinking you didn't add the interest payments on the debt. Yes, but I assume that the debt will be paid off in maximum 2 years. And then we get this valuation. But let's add the debt. That's a very good point. So the interest on the debt is about 40 million. That's the interest currently. So we deduct 40 million in our graph. Like this. And we just use these numbers for here. So now we have added the interest payments to our calculation. And the curve has, of course, shifted downwards because interest payments will deduct some of the free cash flow. So now it's like this, minus interest. So if we use the current formula, then we get this free cash flow chart. Now the break-even point is around 3.7 ICO. So this would be fair value at 5 times free cash flow. So as long as the ICO price stays at around $4 and above, then there's upside. And if it goes below the 3.7, then there is downside risk. So that's the current status. If we have a 5 ICO, then there's an easy triple possible, even with interest payments. But I expect that those interest payments will go to 0, and that would give a better curve. So if you have any comments, put it down below, and I'll see you in the next video.